think I have a pretty good idea of what's gonna be the best fit for you guys. I want to call up to our office real fast though and check with my buddy Brian. He's a guru with this stuff.
Oh, okay,
I always like to double check with him, make sure we're thinking the same way. Okay.
Good.
So hang on 1 second. Hey Brian. Hey, this is Justin. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm sitting here with Sherry and Gene, and we're looking at a mortgage protection. And it looks like they're just wanting to make sure that it sounds like mainly if Gene passed away, because he doesn't have any insurance at all, that they want to make sure Sherry doesn't get stuck where she's kind of holding the whole mortgage all by herself. So we're looking through, and I checked their health backgrounds, and looks like he has some cholesterol, but it's pretty well controlled. He's got blood pressure, also pretty well controlled. He had rotator cuff surgery, but I don't think that it was far enough back. I don't think it would be an issue. Kidney stones. Also, he does have diabetes, but he said his sugar usually runs in like the low 100s, like 115 was his last checkup. So it's, I think, very well controlled. Only metformin, no insulin, no complications of diabetes or anything like that. So with that kind of a combination, and I think they're leaning towards the mortgage only being for the next, like, say, 15 years or so. So what would your thought be on that?
So first of all, this first call from the home is critical. Some things to pay attention to, do not. When you call, you don't need to ask permission. Like, just didn't ask permission. He just picked up his phone, told him what he was doing. He didn't say, do you mind if I call? Also notice he didn't put Brian on speakerphone. If you put someone on speakerphone, don't tell them, call that an ambush. Yeah. Don't ambush someone.
Don't do that, please.
Because they need to know that they can speak to you confidentiality and you be in control. Now, if we decide there's a problem, we might say, this is a little more complicated. Why don't you put me on speakerphone? Typically speaking, we're going to set this up so that you're talking to one of us, and we want you to be in control of the situation. We'll give you questions to ask if there's more than we ask. Let's see. Also, you might want to make sure your speaker on your phone, even if it's on speakerphone, it's not blaring so loud that you can hear both sides of the conversation. So that's a little tip there that can kind of be embarrassing. Yeah. And then a couple of things that if you're calling me or Brian or someone else, whatever, Justin, we're going to ask you a few more questions. Sometimes we're going to make sure that what you're thinking is the why or pain is correct. We might have some more questions, like if you haven't found out about their existing coverage or policies, we're going to ask you, if not, we may send you back to step 2. So don't be offended. We're going to just try to make sure you've got a good foundation of what you've done. And if you haven't asked for health questions, we're going to make sure you ask them, or we're going to remind you to ask some things. We might ask you some clarifying questions. Maybe you didn't know what that medication was for. We might have some idea and can help you out. Once we kind of give you some idea, we're thinking about some products, we're going to say, hey, I'm thinking about Forrester's Strong Foundation. Do you have the Forrester's multi-product application? No? Or yes? Okay. We're going to hopefully have a tool bag. Or, hey, do you have your application with you or your laptop? Go. Can you have Wi-Fi there? Can you get in? Can you do an e-app? Great. Okay. So we're going to make sure you have access to the application. Then do you have the rate calculator? Have you used it before? Great. Let me make sure. If not, we might stay on the line with you and help you get the rates just to make sure you're on the right track if you're a new agent. This is where the team is going to step in and assist you. By the way, if you are in the stumbling block in step 2 and you can't figure out what their pain or what their need is, you're allowed to call sooner. This is a typical logical point to call from the home. If you need to call sooner, you're allowed to. There's no penalties for calling too much. Most agents make the mistake of not calling enough. As you're learning the business, you're going to have different situations. I thought of one other thing, too, that some agents, some rookies will do is they'll actually walk away from the table and they'll go outside and they'll call like, hey, Brian, yeah, I'm with the client. I'm like, why are you whispering? Well, because they're in the other room or they're inside. I'm like, well, why aren't you sitting down in front of me? Well, because I didn't want to call. So you learn to be comfortable calling. Like, you don't, if this ain't some like slimy thing where you're hiding something, we're going to have a normal conversation with you. Okay, I think that's a good, we're going to move on to step 5.